Let's push it on. Alright, let's get stuck into some theory about body transformations. So like I said, the body transformation success triangle. Okay. Now, there's three sides to a triangle. Okay, now what happens is if you take away one side of a triangle, it collapses over. So all three sides need to be working in conjunction with each other for that transformation to happen. So, the first thing, the first line of the triangle is something we call intense cardio training, and I'll emphasise the word intense, okay? So, performing the right cardio exercise. So, one of the first things I hear when people come to the gym is the first thing they say to me goes, Brendan, I want to get fit, okay? And it's almost like an automated response because that person really doesn't know exactly what it is they want, they just know they want to get fit, whatever fit means to them. So, technically, in my mind, what fit means to me is basically our body becomes effective at a type of exercise, therefore it uses less energy to perform that task. So the fitter you get at a specific exercise, the less energy you begin to use in that task. Okay? An example would be for guys, if you sort of sat at a desk all day, then one day you decided to help a mate who's a roof tiler for the day, and that day, at the end of that day, you're absolutely exhausted. But if you did it for months and months and months, then eventually it would become quite easy because you'd get fit at it. So when we're looking at body transformations, okay, basically we want to focus on cardio that never ever really hits an easy point. Okay, we never want to focus on getting fit. We want to continually change the cardio so our body's always having to adapt to catch up to those new changes. Does that make sense? Okay. So generally the thing we use in personal training is what we call high intensity interval training or HIIT training. Put your hand up if you've heard that mentioned before or read that somewhere on a website at some point. Cool. So basically, in a nutshell, HIIT training should last no longer than 25 and 30 minutes, okay, and should involve maximum exertion in that time. So if you're thinking or feeling like you're doing HIIT training and you're getting to 30 minutes and you go, oh, I still feel pretty good right now, the word maximum was probably not used in your exercise, okay? So it's a way of exercising that you're going to the absolute hardest point in that exercise for a short duration, okay? Now the cool thing with this is this style of cardio, and as I go along, you're going to hear me talk about metabolism quite a lot, because no matter how much you exercise in the gym, you're always going to burn more fat outside of the gym. It's just a pure time trade-off, okay? Even if you're coming for an hour a day every day, it's only 7 hours out of a possible 168 hours in a week, so therefore you're always going to burn more fat outside of the gym. It's just a thing. So this cardio, why we do it is because it's more focused on increasing your metabolism. So once we do this form of cardio, your metabolism is scientifically shown to increase by 50% for the next 36 hours. So for the next day and a half, your calorie outtake from just doing the normal things that you're doing in everyday life has improved by 50%. Okay? And how you notice this, who's ever done a really hard workout and then a couple hours later you felt really good? You're like, I feel good, I want to do this, and you feel good for the next sort of day. And that's because your metabolism has bumped up. And you don't train for a few days and you're like, I feel tired again, metabolism's come back down again. So does that make sense, guys? You on the same page with me? Awesome. Alright. And yeah, as opposed to the traditional jogging on the spot, walking on the treadmill, that really only burns extra calories for the duration of that exercise. So you're only burning more calories for the time that you're here. And for the guys, what would you rather look like? A marathon runner or a 100-metre sprinter? A 100-metre sprinter rarely runs any further than 400 metres in one go, but their physiques are fantastic. Alright, next thing, probably the second most important thing in a body transformation is free weights, and I emphasise the word free weights resistance training, okay? So, performing resistance training that's designed to build muscle. Now why do we do this? And once again, the more muscle we have, the greater our metabolism will become. Because what's the only one thing in our body that can burn fat? Muscle. It's the only thing in our body that can burn fat. So theoretically, if we have a little bit more of it, then we're going to be able to burn more fat. Then when we do the cardio, we're going to exert more calories, and then our metabolism is going to become higher once again. So let me give you some cool math. So for every extra kilogram of muscle, on average, your body will burn an extra 60 to 200 calories a day at rest. You know, at work, walking around, between 60 to 200. Now that doesn't seem a lot, but when we sort of compound that, imagine if you could build an extra 5 kilos of muscle, which I think for everyone in the room is possible. Will it happen in the next 12 weeks? For some of us, yes. For some of us, no. Okay, it's got about 40 or 50 things that depend on that. It's not just weight, it's nutrition, it's sleep, it's stress, it's everything. Okay, but you can get the ball rolling in the next 12 weeks for sure. Although Jimmy, you were like 3.5 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that's possible. Everyone can build 5 kilos in this room. So what does that mean now? Magically, I've given Thingo an extra 5 kilos. Lucas?
Turn around.
For an extra 5 kilos. So he can now burn between 300 to an extra 1,000 calories in a day. It's starting to compound a little bit. But when we compound this into a week, all of a sudden, Lucas can burn an extra 2,100 to 7,000 calories in a week. So that's around about 1 to 2 days worth of calories that gets burned off in that extra week. When we compound that again, in 1 year, you would burn 109,000 to 364,000 extra calories in that year at rest, just because he put in the work and put that 5 kilos on. What does that mean? That's pretty much 1,300 Mars bars he burns away for putting on that 5 kilos of muscle. Sounds pretty good? Pretty good, guys. All right, also the cool thing with weights training is that's also shown to improve your metabolism by up to about 30% for the next 36 hours. So if every second day you're either doing weights training or intense cardio, see how you're at a constantly elevated metabolic state? You're constantly burning more fat. But what determines now whether you're going to burn fat or not? Always the same. Alright, nutrition program designed to match your exercise programming goals. That's the key thing here, designed to match your exercise programming goals. Because once we start looking at improving muscle mass and things like that, things like almonds and apples are great to eat, but are they going to help improve the muscle mass in your body? Not necessarily. So we've got to make sure we play smart and match the exercise that we're doing to the nutrition that we're eating. Not just sort of, oh yeah, that's healthy, I'll just eat that. So, let me give you some stats. As Australians, are we getting it wrong? Right now, there are more health clubs and fitness programs than ever before. Within a 10-minute walk, there's two other gyms just like this. Okay, there's a CrossFit and there's 4 other personal training studios plus 2 boxing gyms within a 10-minute walk of right here. But at the same time, type 2 diabetes and obesity has reached its highest point ever. How does that make sense? We have all these health and fitness clubs trying to help everyone get in really good shape, but on the other side, everyone's got type 2 diabetes and obesity. It's really, really rising up. Why is that happening?
Motivation.
Access to fast food.
Yeah. Alright, so some statistics, guys. Basically, from 2001, it was shown that 57.5% and 42.2% of females were categorised as either overweight or obese. Now you can see this trend all the way up to 2012, so 3 years ago. There's no new statistics as of yet. At 67% to 55%. Okay, so you can see that there's a dramatic increase in what's happening. So, the latest 2014 Australian Obesity Report stated that if this trend continues, that by 2025, 10 years time, 80%, so 4 out of 5 people, will be overweight or obese.
If you're taking junctions off the ground,
Does anyone find that a little bit scary? It's pretty full on, isn't it? Like, it's pretty full on. So, what does it cost the Australian taxpayer? So in 2005, there was a study done. The Australian Diabetes, Obesity and Lifestyle Association did a research on what it actually cost the Australian taxpayers for people being overweight and obese. And they found that it costs the Australian taxpayers, and does anyone want to have a guess at how much it costs the Australian taxpayer, which is everyone in this room, unless you don't pay tax? Anyone have a guess?
420 million.
I think it's billions.
It's in the double figures of billions.
Okay, it costs $21 billion a year out of your tax money goes to people that have an unhealthy lifestyle. Things like type 2 diabetes medication, things like medications for heart problems, liver cancers, stuff like that. The strain it puts on to the health system. And obesity has overtaken cigarette smokers as the biggest drain on the Australian health system. So it goes 6.5 billion from people that are overweight and 14.5 billion from people that are obese. It also stated on this website, so this is on the australian.vic.gov or whatever it is website, you can read about all this, and they said it also costs there's an indirect cost of $35.6 billion. I really don't know what that is, that's just stated on the Australian website there. Who thinks that's pretty crazy? Like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, you know. So much better things could be created that they've spent on this stuff that really doesn't even need to be here. 40, 50 years ago it was not even a thing. It wasn't even a problem at all. Alright, grand total of $56.6 billion a year. Okay, so it pretty much seems that in Australia, the new normal is to be overweight or obese. Why? And as Alex said, because the typical Australian diet consists of processed foods that our body cannot use as energy and instead turn our food directly into body fat. Okay? Pantries that look like this. What is processed food? It's really simple, guys. Pasta, rice, bread, any breakfast cereal, any of them, even ones with green ticks on them. Any drink that isn't water, so all your soft drinks, your Powerades, your Gatorades, all that sort of stuff. Do you know that Powerade and Gatorade, we go about this in the nutritional seminar, that Powerade and Gatorade are pretty much sugared up to compete with Coke. And who's ever had like a Gatorade from like a sports, maybe at footy, and had the big Gatorade tub? Tasted a hell of a lot different, didn't it? Tasted like watered down Gatorade, which is actually what's meant to be, but they pump it full of sugar so that when you go there and go, oh, Gatorade, Coke, oh, I like the taste of Gatorade. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. Fruit juices and sports drinks, sandwich meat or any meat that comes in a box. Anything that says low in fat on the box, generally low in fat, usually is higher in sugar. We're still sort of seeing the overfall of the 80s and 90s of low-fat diets. People still believe in them. They're totally untrue. All fast food and all sweets, even the so-called natural ones. So looking at that list of food, would it be safe to say that this constitutes to probably the majority of Australians' everyday diet? Pretty safe to say this is generally the stuff that most people eat. And when we look at that, and 67% of males and 55% of females are overweight and obese, it's pretty simple to put it together why it is, why that is. And it's because it's all easy accessible. Because we live in a society that's so fast-paced, it's so easy accessible. Alright, so unfortunately the best exercise routine, unless you're a full-time athlete, you exercise for 8-9 hours a day like an Olympic swimmer, you're never going to be able to undo poor nutritional intake. It's just never ever going to happen. And they say, to lose body fat, it's somewhere between 70% nutrition and 30% exercise. I think that's pretty fair. Okay, if you had a little bit more focus on nutrition, okay, you'd probably get better results. People always say to me, like some of my clients are like, oh look, I'm free Sunday, should I come down and do an extra cardio session? Like, well, it'd actually be better to go to the supermarket, prepare food for the entire week, and focus on that for an hour and a half than come to the gym for an hour and a half, because I guarantee you'll get better results with that focus. And people are like, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, So a shift from processed food back to natural plant and animal foods is pretty much the only way possible to be able to shift away this body weight. In our 12-week challenge, we pretty much, the first Thursday of the challenge, we go through a program, what we call the Metabolic Precision Nutrition Program, that educates you guys on the correct choices to make to complete that successful body transformation that you're after. Okay, we do that in week 1, so straight away, early on in the challenge, you've got all the nutrition information into you so you can go away and get started straight away. Make sense? And if you wanted to, write down Metabolic Precision and Google it when you get home so you can get comfortable and say, oh yeah, I get what that's all about, because it's a really, really fantastic program. Alright, so foods that look like this. So yeah, this is the success triangle. So on the outside, we've got intense cardio training, free weights training, and our nutrition program. So if we combine all those three together, okay, you're going to get a fantastic transformation. But only